Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Writing Show Music for Battery Percussion series. This is episode 10, and today we are starting a new chart called The Worst Ballad Ever by yours truly. But we're going to use The Worst Ballad Ever as kind of a crash course intro into what I call drum set style writing. And more specifically, we're going to try to answer the question, what can I write for a beginner level battery that will be playable and sound cool, but not sound like it came out of the box. Okay, so a lot of times when you get the stock arrangements for ballads, the drum parts are less than optimal. So we're gonna try to give you some ideas that you can blatantly take for your own, or make variations off of whatever your style is. So let's see. Let's get started. I'm gonna try to do the entire chart today because it is only 26 measures. Um, but with that in mind, here is the MP3 for just the wind parts. All right. So here's that. Okay, so like I said, it is the worst ballad ever, but I literally wrote it in about 10, 15 minutes, so you can't fault me for that. Anyway, so let's talk about drum set style as kind of a philosophy, okay? So basically, we're writing for a drum set that just happens to be split up between, however many players. You got your snare drummer and your cymbal, you got your toms with your tenors, and then you, of course, got the bass voice with the bass drums, okay? So we're writing a drum set part amongst four different instruments. Okay, so I have some notes down here. I'm going to read them real quick. So we're mostly writing drum set parts, but with a tiny bit of other stuff thrown in. No weird duple rhythms, no double stroke rolls, no hard syncopated rhythms. Trying to stay away from 16th notes. That one's going to be difficult, but we'll soldier on. We can have some splits in the bass drums, but definitely we're going to stay away from half beat per drums like we have been using. Something like this. Hold on, I'll show you. Yeah, we're going to stay away from stuff like that. Yeah, so we're a full beat per drum minimum, which basically means I'll change this to eighth notes. Basically, that is the minimum number of notes that an individual bass drummer can have on their own. Let's see. Cymbal parts are optional for those not holding for the snare drums, and I will only write one part as opposed to split parts like we did in the previous chart that we did. And then the cymbals who are holding for the snare drums are going to use two holding techniques. They're going to have a hi-hat and a ride cymbal. Things to think about, all right? The copy and paste tools, they're your friends, right? But you're not best friends, okay? So you can't just rely on that for every single situation that you're in. So try to write something unique, all right? Another thing, with that in mind, where can I put not drum set parts that will still be impactful for crowd appeal and pedagogical purposes? All right. I think one of the biggest downfalls of drum set style writing is that it's what I kind of call empty calorie music. It's just it exists, but it doesn't necessarily teach many things past the ability to count the number of times that you've repeated something. But anyway, that's not a knock on drum set style writing because it definitely has its place. That's why we're doing a video on it. But and then the third thing, how do I keep the tempo from speeding up by 20 clicks throughout the chart? This is at a hold on, let's zoom in really, really closely on this word because, oh my goodness, this is a sultry dotted quarter note equals 76. So it's slow. All right. And whenever you have something slow in marching band, it always tends to speed up. So we're going to try to write parts with that in mind to try to, help it not rush towards the finish line. Okay. So now that is enough speaking. Let's get to the writing. Here we go. All right. So we'll write a snare drum part first. I like to, in drum set style stuff, I like to start off with not drum set style, just because I think it sounds better if you start off with a more aggressive, aggressive being in air quotes, but a more aggressive beginning, and then backing off to the drum set stuff when the verse comes in. Which here's your quote unquote verse right here. So we'll do something. Okay. All right. So in 12/8, this is my or well, it's not mine, but it's basically it can be your go-to rhythm. All right. It's a bunch of putadas, which is right, left, left. All right, with accented rim shots on 2 and 4. That is the easiest thing you can write for a 12/8 chart. That it will still sound good. It'll sound a little bit stock, but we can do some things to it in the future to make it not sound stock. But for now, we're gonna do that. All right. So let's see. Let's copy that onto the tenors. Let's see. We'll do that in drum 2 and 4. I don't have my headphones here today, so you guys get to listen to my virtual drum line freak out a little bit. Okay, so let's see. We'll copy that and copy all of this. Very good. Okay, now we'll do this. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Now we're gonna we'll write a cymbal part here since we haven't started holding yet. But one thing to think about though is you are gonna need to give your cymbal players time to go from a playing position to a holding position. Just because it takes a little bit of time to do that. Some people tend to forget that. But anyway, I digress. There we go. Oh my goodness. Why does it do that? I hate that. Hold on. Okay. We'll be fine with that for now. So now accents and dynamics. So we're going to start at forte. I'm not going to start at fortissimo. Maybe if I was writing for a more advanced battery, I would. But with beginners, if you tell the beginners to play at fortissimo, bad things might happen. Because it's real loud. All right, let's see. Why my dynamics? There we go. Okay. And then very good. So let's see. So there's my first measure. Then we have a build from forte piano. So we'll use the copy and paste tool again. Piano. There we go, and then we'll just we'll do these as double stops. Okay. Good. Then we'll take off the accents here. whole note, piano. All right, and then crescendos all around. Okay. So in these two measures, we're not going to have any cymbal parts because the chorus starts here, and we need to be holding here, so that'll be fine. Let's see. Okay. So we'll do a crush buzz here, and then we'll maybe crescendo up to something louder. Maybe we'll do fortissimo. Why not? Okay. Very good. Okay. Then we'll have okay, and then we'll do here. We'll just do a dotted quarter note straight down the drum. Okay, forte, and then we'll do boom. All right, now let's see some stickings. There we go. Let's get these accented. They're very good. Oh, wait a minute. More stickings. Awesome. Okay. So now we are at the first verse, which basically lasts for 8 bars. All right. So if you have Virtual Drumline, one thing you can do is the snare drums come with cymbal sounds preloaded into the templates that you get. So we're gonna write that. All right, and for now we're just gonna put a straight 8th note pattern. All right, and then we're gonna use layer 2 to write our snare drum notes. Now don't worry if you're freaking out about the red, it will not show up red on the PDF that you print. This is just to demonstrate that you're in a different layer in Finale. All right, so I'm writing rim knocks here. This is about as easy drum set as you can get, so no worries there. We're gonna put at piano. Yep. Well, maybe we'll do mezzo piano, a nice medium between the accompaniment and melody in the bass or in the band. So we'll do that. And then we'll do something that I call the ABAC method, which is basically just a way of writing a 4-measure phrase. If you've never heard me talk about this before, it's basically your first measure is your A measure, your second measure is a B measure, so it's slightly different. Your third measure, you go back to the A measure, and then fourth measure is a fill, right? So in an 8-measure phrase, you just do that twice. All right, so my different measure here is just beat 4, and then we'll change for the fill measure on beat 4, or on measure 4. And we'll just do something like, yeah, something like that. And then we'll crescendo back up. Very good. Now, I usually don't write stickings for things like this where I've got 2 separate things and notes going on here. So what I usually do, I go to my expressions tool, and I'll go to, let's just say technique text, and then I'll put stems up, right hand, stems down, left hand. And that's good enough. And, you know, let's see if we can make that any smaller. All right, cool. Okay. So now bass drums, since we're doing easy stuff, we can literally just outline the quarter notes. And since I already at the bottom of the line here, I'm just going to go up. And maybe I'll do 4 and but you don't have to. Let me be very clear. That would be perfectly acceptable. Yeah, maybe our 4th bass drummer is decent with triplets, so that'll be fine. All right, so we're gonna do this at piano, okay? Because I don't want this to be quite as loud as the snare drum. All right, now the tenors. All right, here's something really easy that you can do. If you don't want to, or if you want to have something like this but don't want to copy all of that stuff, here's something really easy you can write on the Spock. That's really easy to play, and it doesn't sound terrible. All right, so you're going to do... Oh, goodness. There you go. You're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 is going to be a crush. All right, and it's all going to be on the right hand. Okay. Of course. That's so nice of you. There we go. Okay. So now okay, it's fine. It's gonna be a problem anyway. That's fine. Now for my different measure, I'm gonna just go straight down the drums. And then straight back up. Okay. We'll put this at mezzo piano 2. And we'll move the stickings. Very good. Let's see. So now hi-hats. For the cymbal players who are not holding, if we have more than one, we'll just do... There we go. We'll just do hi-hat on 2 and 4. There we go. Oh my goodness. Finale just does not like 12/8 today. Okay. Fantastic. And we'll do that at mezzo piano. All right. No, we won't. We'll do it at piano. That's fine. All right. So now here we go. How much you want to bet? Does this... Oh, it didn't do that weird thing in the tenors. Fantastic. Okay. And then, you know what? Let's just do that. And then we'll crescendo. Then we'll do something a little different in the bass drums. How about that? So we'll do a full beat per drum triplet split down the line. Usually that's not too terribly difficult, and we'll crescendo all the way. All right, awesome. So now we're going to use the copy and paste tool again. We're going to copy the first 3 measures. Okay. Now this time we're all going to be at mezzo forte because we're growing a little bit in volume. So that's good. Everybody else is at mezzo forte now, so I'm going to meet the band at mezzo forte. All right, so now here we have a whole da 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 da, right? That's very stereotypical, very cheesy. We're going to do this. We're going to copy and paste. Boom. Okay, and then we will put a forte right here to signal a forte piano. All right. Now here we're going to give the cymbals time to get to the crash position. So what we'll do is we'll just have the first 2. Okay, and we won't worry about how stupid that looks in with the dotted quarter notes versus quarters and 8th rest. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so we've got our verse with drum set stuff. I think here let's try to put less drum set stuff in and write some write some what I call rudimental parts, but since we're really beginner, we won't worry about too many rudiments. All right, so I showed you this. I showed you this pattern earlier. If you want to go a tiny bit harder than that, I'm going to break my rule of no 16th notes, but that's okay because this whole series is basically me just saying I'm going to do whatever I want, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Let's see. So we'll do the same first two beats, and then we will add 2 16th notes on the second partial of this triplet right here, or of beat 3. Okay, and that'll be just different enough to where it'll be it won't sound like it came from a box because it's not. All right. Now the whole band is at fortissimo, but again, since we're dealing with a beginner level battery, I'm going to take things down because if you tell a beginner level to play really loud, they're going to play really loud and probably overplay. So that's one thing I'm thinking about. But anyway, let's see. So we'll do the stereotypical thing where we transpose to drum 4 and drum 1. Okay. I should have wrote the stickings in before I did that. Silly me. Okay. All right, and then bass drums. Something like that. You could go simpler if you wanted to, but I won't. Actually, yeah, let's go a little bit. Let's go a tiny bit simpler. So let's change this first thing to a dotted quarter note. So now it's just 1, 2, triple at 4, 1 instead of 1, 2. But it's it's not revolutionary or anything, but it's just a little bit simpler. All right. Very good. Let's see. Yep. So now big crashes on 2 and 4. There we go. We're going to accent them. And yep, there we go. All right, so ABAC, or yeah, ABAC, we'll write something slightly different here, but we're going to copy the A measure. All right, so for this one, let's do this. Let's copy the last 2 beats of this, and then copy beat 2. All right, so that'll sound really cool. And then stickings, always with the sticking. Cool. All right. So here we've got another forte piano build with dotted quarter notes. So let's copy this again. All right. Now, if you wanted to go a little bit harder than this, you could change the voicing of the tenor drums. You could change the rhythm. I'm not going to do that just because I don't think we need to go any harder for easy beginner battery. I'm trying to show you that you can write these things really simply and it still contribute to the chart. Okay, sweet. So in this last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars, we've got this kind of stereotypical thing where we got 1 and 2, 3 and 4. All right, so we're gonna try and accentuate that as much as possible. Because it is kind of a cool part of a ballad that I really like. So I'll show you 2 things you can do. So the first thing you can do is you can do a kind of a call and response thing with it, where you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I think that's what we'll do. But I'll show you the other thing that I would do here. is I would just do that. Triple at 2, triple at 4. But I don't want to do that. I want to do the I want to do this because I think it'll sound cooler. And you can talk to your students about call and response, which will be good. All right, so accent there, very good. However, I think what I'll do is I'll put the triplet on beat 1 and 3 on or in the bass drums, and that way we can have a really big talk about call and response because we're essentially hocketing triplets between the battery, so that's good. It's always a good thing to try to talk about call and response. Okay. Yeah, we'll transpose again. Whoa, why did that happen? Oh, that's why. There we go. Excuse me. Perfect. All right, so transpose now. Okay. Drum 4. Okay. Now I'm let's do both. Let's do both hands on double stops. Dang it. Thank you. There we go. Matter of fact, I did all of that just to. Okay, never mind. I'll do it the hard way. Nobody ever said finale was perfect. All right. Now here, I think I'll accent all of the notes, just to give us a little bit more of that hocketed thing. Yep. And we can actually copy that as well. And I'll accent these measures too. Very good. Okay, some more crashes on 2 and 4 are in order. Okay. That's going to drive me crazy, so let's fix it. There we go. Goodness gracious. Awesome. All right. Okay, very good. All right, so we'll do that. And then for these two measures, since there's, it was basically the same thing, but this measure has a fermata. This one does not, so for this measure, what we'll do is we'll just do a buzz roll, and we won't worry about any rhythmic stuff. We'll just, yeah. Okay. And then I can just transpose. Let's see, sustained, roll 4. No kidding, did that work? Look at that. Okay. Now, and I don't like that it automatically defaults to a whole note instead of this slash notation, but we'll get over it. So yeah, here we've got triplet 3 rest. So we want to put something here, definitely. But guess what we've already got here? We've got a measure where we've already written it, and that'll be fine for a beginner battery, especially if we don't have a lot of time to learn it. Okay, and then another, there we go, another orchestral crash with a fermata and a dot on the whole note. There we go. Then we've got a measure of solo So let's do that. I'm going to break the no 16th note rule again, just because I can. And I'll show you something that sounds cool that's not incredibly difficult to teach. But like I said, or if your drum line just can't do it, then just replace it with a triplet. 16th, 8th, 16th, 8th, 3E, or da 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 da. Yeah, that sounds really cool. It's not a pain to teach. It's not necessarily easy, but it's not the worst thing to teach. Well, let me show you what the worst thing to teach is. Hold on. And for some reason, stock arrangers just love this rhythm, and I don't know why. I'm not gonna rant about it too much, but that rhythm is really hard to teach. So don't write that rhythm. But yeah, this one probably will be okay. And like I said, if your battery, if that's gonna like destroy somebody's self confidence or whatever, don't write it. Just write a straight triplet, and you will be fine. Okay, so right, right, or right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. Very good. And then I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll accent this entire 2 beats. And we'll do the transpose thing again. Drum 1. Drum 4. Perfect. And then let's do another split down the drums. I will not do the 16th, 8th, 16th, 8th thing with that. I will only do it in the tenors. If your basses can do it, fantastic, write it in. If not, then just keep it out. Okay, and then I won't do anything in the cymbals here. And then we'll, yep, we basically copied the first 2 measures. So we'll do it again. Except this time, we are going to be at fortissimo. Just because we're at the end and now it's time to be loud. Alright, so now we've got the whole note. Yep. And then for the last measure, if you wanted to do something as simple as this, where you just have triplet, 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 1, you could absolutely do that. Let's do something a little bit different. Since we're going to go through the trouble to learn that, let's put it here as well, just so we can get a little bit more mileage out of it. And we'll be at fortissimo again. Another orchestral crash, and then a muted crash here. Boom. Yeah, and then an accent, and then we're just going to ignore all of that garbage behind the note. But yeah, so that's the chart. We wrote an entire chart in one video, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't it glorious? Okay, so I'm gonna export all of the parts, or all of the audio stuff. I'll write some stickings for the notes that I missed. I'm seeing some stuff that I missed over here, and then you will be hearing it right about now. Thanks for sticking with me. In the next one, we're gonna write this this chart again, but we're gonna write it for advanced battery, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks for sticking with me.